Well, hello lovelies. Today I wanted to do an application video about makeup. Obviously you guys know that I love SeneGence and LipSense. And however, that LipSense is totally awesome, of course, but our makeup products are really awesome, and I'm still learning about them even though I've been in the company for a few months now. But I wanted to share with you how I put on my makeup each morning and introduce you to a couple of products that we have here through the cosmetic line so that you can see how they work. Quite a few of them are very versatile, and I think that you'll like what you see. So I'm just going to show you how I put on my makeup. And I must tell you, doing a video is really nervous, but not having on any makeup and doing a video is something different. So I'm kind of putting myself out here. As you can tell by my face, I don't have flawless skin. I do suffer from adult acne. So there are some great products with SeneGence that help make me feel more confident when I put on my face. As you know, our products kind of stay put. They're smudge and budge proof, they're sweat proof, waterproof. Some of them are water resistant, but for the most part, your face is going to stay, whether that's your lips or your eyes or your makeup. And there's a lot of products that don't do that, and I know that even after a couple of hours, especially in the Texas heat, you end up not having part of your makeup on anymore, and so you're constantly reapplying. Well, just like with LipSense, our makeup is stay proof too. So I'm just going to show you how I put on my makeup each morning and introduce a couple products to you, and of course if you have any questions you can let me know. So I have already done my skincare this morning. I use our daytime moisturizer after I've used our 3-in-1 cleanser. And my first step is to use a primer type product. Today I'm going to use Silk. Silk is a pore and wrinkle minimizer. It is a primer that you can use prior to your foundation. It essentially kind of fills in the fine lines that you have on your face to help your foundation look more flawless. So I just apply a pump, about a half a pump I guess. Just put it on my fingers, and then I'm going to dab. And you do want to apply this in a downward motion. We also have color correcting concealer. It is a similar product such that it takes out the coloring that you have in your skin. I mean, you can see that my skin is quite red. I have used the white before, and we also have green, which is truly for redness in your skin. So I'm anxious to get that in to give it a try, but I really do like the white. I choose to either use the Silk or the white concealer. I found that if I personally use them together, it's too much product on my face. So I've applied my Silk. Now, as to our foundation, we offer that in our Make Sense foundation, and we also have an anti-aging line. For those, they say to consider those when you're over 50. You might want to start looking at the anti-aging line. But the great thing is all of our makeup products have anti-aging in them. Just specifically with the foundation, it has additional components as we age. So I'm going to do some concealer first. Shadow Sense, which has now become my new favorite over LipSense, if you can believe that. It is so versatile. There's so many different ways that you can use it, and one of the coolest things is it's a concealer. So this is Sandstone Pearl. We have another color called Candlelight. They are our two most popular colors used for concealer. And when I say concealer, these lovely areas that I have on my face will be concealed. And if you have dark circles under your eye or maybe additional redness that the Silk or the color correcting concealer didn't cover, then you can use this. Now, I don't know about you guys, but you know, I've used concealer forever, since I was a teenager, because I've always dealt with, you know, acne of some sort. Sometimes it's worse than others. As you can see, I am not blemish free this week. But you know, you put it on and then an hour later it's gone. It's, you know, either it's too greasy or it just moves away once you put your foundation on. So these are cream to powder shadows, so you have a minute or two to work with them. I like to let it sit a little bit before I start working with it as a concealer so that it doesn't just rub right off. And then as you can see, I'm just patting it over those areas. And it definitely, using the extra on my finger, around my nose stays pretty red, and my chin area. I'm just tapping it in. And it's going to help conceal those lovely blemishes that I have on my face. Okay, so that is SeneGence in Sandstone Pearl. Now I'm going to use my foundation. Okay, these little bundles of joy, I'm going to call them, are fantastic. These are airless pumps. So as you can see, like in the silk and in my foundation here, do you see the space here at the bottom? Obviously these were full when they started. With an airless pump, you have no waste. So as you use the product, it's obviously going to move up the side, and there's no waste. I mean, how many times have you gone to Macy's or Sephora, wherever it is you like to buy your makeup, and you don't ever know if you've used it all? And this stuff isn't cheap, that we put on our face. So we definitely want to make sure that we're utilizing the right thing. And I just realized I grabbed Pearlizer instead of my foundation. Oops. I'm going to have to go get my foundation real quick, but I'm doing this in front of my window because the lighting was better, so I'll be right back. Well, gotta love that, right? Okay, well, here's the cool thing. Here's a prime example of how the airless pump works. As you can see, I've had this for 4 months, almost 5 months, and I still have product in it. So this is easily going to last me for 6 months, so I'm really excited about that. So all I'm going to do is put about 3/4 of the pump on top of the lid, and you may ask why on top of the lid. If you put it on your hand, obviously you have body heat, and I don't want any of that to start working with my foundation. So I just put it on the top of the lid. And our foundation, you want to apply it with a brush. We call it stippling because this is a stipple brush. This is actually a contouring brush, but you want to use really dense bristles that are close together or compact together, because you're going to stipple the product on instead of using your fingers or a sponge, which you can use. It just seems to apply the best for me if I use the stippling motion. So I just tap the top of it, put a little on each side. Okay, and now you just stipple. So stipple is like tapping. Essentially, you're putting the product within your to work with your pores. The point is that we want to create that flawless look that everybody loves. Nobody wants caked on makeup. So with the science behind our foundation, the stippling seems to work the best for application. Another great thing about our product is that SeneGence created Cineplex Complex. That's our science or technology that's found in the majority of our makeup. And essentially what that means is it's a kinetic enzyme that improves cell renewal. Our skin renews every 28 days, and Cineplex Complex improves that time period by 23%. So in other words, the average person's going to have skin renewal of 28 days. With SeneGence and Make Sense products, you are going to have skin renewal in 23 days. Thereby, that just, is only going to help our skin regenerate better cells. We're using, better products because our products have less chemicals and wax and lead and components in them that make them a cleaner product. So, as you can see, it goes on pretty smooth. There's not much redness left. So what I'm going to do now is start with my eyes. I'm going to use 3 different colors today, and I'm going to start with Bronze Shimmer. It's my favorite accent color, and it's actually out of our green family. I won't lie to you, I didn't realize that at the beginning, but I just like the way it looks. And you literally only need to dot this a couple of times. So just a couple of dots. Again, cream to powder shadows. They work so easy, and you can blend them. Again, use your fingers, use a sponge, whatever you want to do. I just use a brush, And I have found with the accent colors, if I tap it on, I get a better blending look. Granted, definitely not a makeup artist. I'm still not very good at this, but I have to tell you, I love to put on my makeup now. Used to, it was kind of a chore. I didn't like it, you know, it was just one of those things I had to do, you know. Obviously you saw my face prior to. I'm not someone that has the type of face where I can leave without something on. So I actually quit wearing shadows about 15 years ago, unless we were, you know, going somewhere. I didn't even put them on. So now I get really excited just to see how the different colors are going to work together and what I can create. I mean, sometimes I do that traditional, you know, half moon type idea with a couple of colors. I put on just a little bit more here to get it a little darker, but as you can see, a little goes a long way. I like to let my accent color set a little bit, so I'm going to move on to my blush and then come back. So this is our blush scents. This tube will last forever because you use very little of it, and it actually has a Cineplex complex in it too, so I kind of shake mine up or maybe needed a smidge because sometimes you can see the white coloring within the blush color, and that's because that's the Cineplex complex. So I literally use 3 dots of this, so I don't hardly squeeze it out. I just bring some to the surface very carefully. And then, I mean, y'all, 3 dots. That's probably even too much. I think I need a little bit more on this side. So, I mean, I just brought some to the surface and I'm just going to tap it on. So, again, blendable. Oops, wrong brush, sorry. This is a blush brush, so I'm just going to blend it in. Now, you can also use our shadow scents for blush. One of the most popular ones is called Mulberry. There's also a Pink Posy blush, shadow that people use. But because of our products being so highly pigmented, that's why a little goes a long way. I'm sorry. Okay, there we go with the lighting. But as you can see, I just like that little rosy kind of color, and that one's called Toasted Rose. It's my favorite. So, the other thing I learned that's totally awesome about our products is as you use them, you tend to use less. I mean, it's just our nature when we've used other products that you feel like you have to have a lot of product to go a long way. But that's not necessary with the SeneGence products. So in the end, you learn that you're using less than you did before. So that's pretty cool too. Okay, now I'm going to use Mocha Java. We have over, I think it's 30 different colors for shadows. They say that these will last 9 months to a year, depending on how much you use of them. And I haven't been in the company long enough to have that to know yet, but I will. So I'm just going to use this cool double-ended brush. It's my favorite. And I'm just going to do that traditional, you know, half moon kind of bit on the bottom of my eyelid. Mocha Java is this beautiful brown. Our Shadow Sense products come in mattes and they come in shimmers. So obviously it has it in the name, so it makes it real easy to remember. But I'm going to swipe these on my wrist. So, and I'll take a picture of it later so that you can see how pretty the colors are. And then I'll also show you how they don't move. I mean, how many of you put on your shadows and then by the end of the day you have creases or you have raccoon eyes, not only from your eyeliner but from your shadow, or you're going into the restroom, you know, midday when you reapply your lips because you still haven't tried lip sense, and you have to readjust all your makeup because your shadow's coming off or it's creased. Well, Shadow Sense doesn't move, so you don't have to worry about those things. I have now put on Sandstone Pearl Shimmer, which is probably one of my favorite colors. It is very shimmery. It's a beautiful like beige color. It goes with anything. But between that and Pink Opal Shimmer, I use one of them every day. So I am going to put, so these are the 3 colors I used. Oof, I'm sorry about this lighting, y'all. Trying to get it right. But there is the Sandstone Pearl Shimmer, that's the Bronze Shimmer, and that's the Mocha Java. So all very pretty. I'm going to put a little bit more under my crease on this one side. I have a lovely blemish there. So I am trying to cover that up. And again, you can see I just kind of blended it. You can use your fingers if you want. So that's my shadows. Moving on to my eyeliner. Oh, guess what? Using SeneGence again. This is Onyx. We also have Garnet, which is a really dark brown. I'm going to show you how I'm going to use that in a little bit. We have Smoked Topaz and Ebony Essence, which are both shades of gray. They work great for eyeliners if you like those types of shades. So I'm just going to put this on my eye. As you can see with the applicator, it's very similar to the LipSense applicator in that it's angled. So I just turn it upside down. I'm going to apply it directly on my eye. I like my eyeliner in my eye, in my waterline. And I have contacts. It doesn't bother my eyes at all. And it stays. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but if you like your eyeliner in your waterline, half the time it ends up bunching up in the corner and then you have to take it off. This way you don't have to. It stays where it's supposed to be. So that's my eyeliner. So that was pretty easy, right? And you can make it as thick as you want. I mean, there are some people that really like thick eyeliner. I'll show you how. You can also use an angled brush if you want. This is an angled brush. You could use it that way. But I'll put a little on my top brow. I don't normally put it above here, but I'll just show you. Again, it's upside down. Just put a little on the edge there. Some people like to go all the way over. Just depends on the effect you're looking for, but as you can see, it's not very thick. Just a little extra. So now I'm going to use our mascara. It's called Lash Sense. It's waterproof, and I've worn a lot of waterproof mascaras. This stuff's great. I think it goes on really easy. I like to kind of turn my brush this way and work with it. You can do it whichever way you want. But I don't find that it's heavy, that it's clumpy. It feels like regular mascara to me, where I've worn plenty of waterproof mascara where it's the opposite effect. So it goes on easy in my opinion, and it really is waterproof. I've swam in it, I work out in it, you know, and it's not all over my face. So there's my mascara. So my eyes are done. The last thing that I want to show you is brow fill. Oh my gosh. This stuff is, I had no idea how much this would change the look of my eyes and my face. So I just use this little brush and kind of work them out. I'm pretty blessed with some decent brows. I don't have that problem to like fill it in as far as because there's not much hair there. But I had no idea how much makeup I got in my eyebrows. But, so I'm using Garnet. I told y'all earlier that we have this dark brown color. This color is great. It's really cool for eyeshadow too. Very blendable. So all I'm going to do is add this into my eyebrow. Again, I'm going to start kind of in the middle and work down and then come back up. Just a little. But look, y'all, the difference in my two eyebrows. You can use Mocha Java too. They seem to be the most popular. I have found that with my hair, I like it a little darker. And it makes my eyeshadow stand up a little bit more. So it just depends on the look that you're going for. Everybody's different as far as that goes. But if this is something that you're into, I think that you'll like it. So I wiped off everything off this applicator using the brush. And I'm just going to fill in my brow. Just a little, you know, it doesn't need very much. It's very easy to work with. So that's how I do my makeup. We do have loose powder that you can use if you're somebody that likes to set your makeup. It comes in this pretty handy brush tube. It's very travel friendly, if you will. And then of course I will go back and do my lips. But today I wanted to show you how I put my makeup on so that you could see how long it takes for me to kind of get ready. I mean, essentially I know the video is over 20 minutes now, but you can move pretty fast, especially if you're not talking like I am. But I want to go back and show you on my hand, on the shadows. It doesn't move. It's just like the Lip Sense. So the cool thing is that this is not going to come off. The only thing that you may see is the shimmery part, the glittery part from the shimmers. Otherwise, there's no creasing, no budging, no smudging. So I hope that you had learned something new today watching me put on my makeup. And sorry that I didn't have the right foundation. But that was Pearlizer that I picked up. And just to tell you about that product real quick, if you're somebody that likes that dewy glow, the radiant glow that's really, really popular, we do offer that. I often mix that with my blush. So a little goes a long way. You can mix it with the blush, or you can mix it with that Mulberry Shadow Sense I mentioned to make a blush and give you a different type of contouring look or glow if you want. That's another great product that we offer within our cosmetic line. So thanks so much for watching. If you have questions, please leave those in the comments. And thanks for being a customer, or if you're just curious, I'm glad that you stopped in to watch today. Hope you have a great day.